Hello YouTube and welcome back to the Drunken Kobold. Today we are going to be starting the new Foundations quest. It is the third quest in the Age of Chaos line. This information screen is a little bit misleading. It says that you do not require any items for it. However, you do require 20 planks, 8 wooden frames, and 88 stone wall segments. It's probably taking into consideration that you can get these during the quest. You don't need them beforehand. However, I do recommend gathering them ahead of time. If the Grand Exchange doesn't have anything that you can buy for affordable rates, there is a place nearby where you can buy planks. And then there is the ability to manufacture everything yourself before the quest. Rounding up the limestone and enough wood to create everything takes about 2 hours of time. This is considered a long quest for that reason. Once you have everything prepped ahead of time, it goes very, very quickly. If you are at Fort Ferentry before the quest, on the plans table, there is a Varrock teleport tablet that you can break to appear just out at the fountain there. So I do have that in my inventory in case I do need it for something later. I also highly recommend having either a Wicked Hood or an Amulet of Glory to be able to teleport to Draenor. Also, the Draenor Lodestone will work well because you're going to need to go into the farm. A Wicked Hood or a Fort Ferentry teleport to get to the fort itself. This will take you directly to the fort. The Wicked Hood will take you to the Earth Altar as long as you have teleports left for the day. I also recommend having a scepter from the Stronghold of Security. If you do not have one of those, a Edgeville teleport using the home teleport system will work, or a Ring of Fortune to take you at least as far as the Grand Exchange. With all that out of the way, we're going to start the quest. You're going to enter this portal here. Alright, so you're going to have this cutscene. Ooh, the queen got sass. You're going to talk to King Roland. His armor is actually really nice. Holy shit. Accept quest. And you're going to get this really awesome cutscene. We're going to skip it. There is audio if you have your audio turned on. Sign up. All right, so now when you are there, you're going to have to fight. You're going to have to fight 10 zombies. I highly recommend that if you are lower level that you bring some food. They are level 21. Alright, so you're going to click on this portal here to continue the new Foundations quest. Now, we're a pretty high combat level, so we should be able to just, one-shot, maybe two-shot these, if we're worst-case scenario. One-shot, 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 two-shot. Alright. So that is all the zombies. And you're going to come here and talk to Bill. Oh, get over here. He is not hard to convince at all. Okay. So then we can come talk to Bill. All right, so we're gonna need wooden frames and wall segments for this one here. So we'll go into our bank chest. We're gonna put our teleport and our amulet in here for now. 8, 5, 6. Start blueprint. And you're going to interact with these hotspots that appear so that way you can build the wood shop here. And just like that, our workshop is built. All right, so now we have to recruit Aster. For this, you're just going to use the Varrock home teleport. The lodestone is right beside the blue inn. All right, and then after we're done that, we're going to get to the Grand Exchange here, and we're going to walk over to the Barbarian Village. Like I said, an Edgeville home teleport and a scepter from the Stronghold of Security. They'll get you here too. The scepter is the best because it will put you right in the middle of the Barbarians Village. And we're going to talk to Overseer Civ. Good priest, no priest, I think so. All right, and then this is the time when you would normally have the amulet on you, but I forgot to put the amulet on me. So we're going to use the Draenor teleport, and we're going to go down to the market here. All right. We now have everybody that we need. We're going to go back into our bank here. We're going to grab one of my friend 3 teleports. Now, I recommend using the Wicked Hood to go to the Earth Altar. Just because these are rather pricey for what they are, but I have a lot of them laying around, so I'm not too worried. Front gate, 10 planks and 6 walls. Stone wall segments, 16 slots. I have 14, so I'm going to need to use 2 of my lamps here. Mining. There we go. But you could bank lamps. Okay. No, let's go here. Okay. See, on a side note, I thought Fort Farin 3 was going to go like up in here or right here, considering the wilderness is Farin 3. And that this would have been actually, like, surrounded by the wilderness. This is just, attacked by the wilderness on one side. Just a fun little tidbit. This isn't the worst XP ever by any chance, but you know, like, it's rough. And just like that, our first wall is finished. All right, check plans for in3. And we need to do this around the whole place. See, this is actually like really cool content because like most of RuneScape comes already pre-built. This, you don't get to see it built until you actually do it. Like you're actually involved in the making of this content, which is really cool. If you wanted to put Fort for Rune 3 into D&D, I would highly recommend using Pathfinder 2e's Kingmaker rules because the Kingmaker rules are compatible with 5th edition, and then you just need the bestiary conversion if you want to run the content within Fort for Rune 3. And see, like, this is another reason why I was surprised that they didn't build Fort for Rune 3 like up in here in the wilderness, because the wilderness as for Rune 3 would actually really suit the Kingmaker setting, and you could like do a whole quest line for it and everything, but that's just not the route they took. And it's actually funny that they didn't take that because Kingmaker is one of the most popular games in the role playing game genre right now, in terms of not being MMO. MMO, it's World of Warcraft, old school RuneScape, and then like I believe, what is the other one? Either way, like RuneScape 3 is way down there with only like 490,000 active players versus 1 million active players on old school RuneScape. All right, so we're gonna go back to check the plans. All right, so nothing we have stuff for here. Let's get some segments here. You always want to click on these optimal construction hotspots. I know it's like super easy to zone out, but it does make this bar tick up faster and it does give you more XP. Whereas like a normal, without it being a optimal spot, only gives you 18 versus the 30 to 31 experience. See, and now that the amount of people working on Fort for Rune 3 has died down, these trees are easily accessible to make your planks. And then there's oak trees in here to make your oak planks for upgrades. You're still going to need teak and mahogany, but it's not so bad. Bad now to get the lower level content done, with a lot of the people not being, swarming this on day one. Now you may be curious, are these protean planks? They are. These are representation of protean planks in game, and the reason why they're showing protean planks is you can actually use protean planks to do this. This content works completely with protean planks. You don't need actual planks to do this. To my understanding, with protein planks, once you get to higher level content like mahogany and teak, you can still use the protein planks to replace it as well. See, this is another reason why this is a long quest, is because in addition to, rounding up everything you need to be able to work on this fort, the actual building and going between the nodes does take a while. You could 100% AFK this by just sitting at a node and only grinding the bare minimum of experience, but where's the fun in that? Alright, let's go back here. I'm going to build our front gate while we're at it. So I'm going to go to the bank chest. Okay, that is actually looking really nice. Props to the design team for this. See, in like future content, restoring this walkway here, like, actually rebuilding Farinthry. And it'd be really cool if, other than in the fort, they brought back true PvP for the entirety of the wilderness. None of this like opt-in shit that you have to do. Like, if you're in the wilderness, you're fair game to be murdered. I miss those days of RuneScape so much. But like, it'd be just like really cool, restore these paths. Actually like rebuilding the wilderness. Refortifying the wilderness wall along the way between here. So like, that's a wrong map. But like, like bringing up, rebuilding the wall that goes along here all the way through rebuilding these runes into a suitable smithing spot, rebuilding these runes into a suitable smithing spot, turning these into proper mining camps. This is all stuff that could be done with Farinthry. 3 farming patches throughout the wilderness. Like, just, I don't know, like, there's just so much really cool content. There's so much really cool content that they could make out of Farinthry with this whole rebuilding the wilderness thing. And like, how cool would it be that, like you're rebuilding out here where, it's like a low level threat. And not only are you having to defend yourself from, the wilderness threats that spawn and creatures that spawn, but players too. Players who are actively also trying to rebuild the wilderness. And in the end, it's going to look the same for everybody. But, being able to take somebody else's supplies and like make it a true free for all. By the time everybody's done the content, the wilderness fully restored, it looks beautiful. All these monsters are still out here. There's quests to like go slay these monsters, like even if they're just daily grinding challenges rather than actual true quests, like repeatable mini quests or something. But yeah, just so much really cool content that they could do with the wilderness in the terms of like rebuilding it. See, and like here you can work on mining and smithing. You can restore archaeology here. There's like a ton of really cool stuff that you can do. And I feel like they've really, really dropped the ball. So this one's going to be alternating between 3 nodes. And it's a small wall, so it should be built relatively quick, but who knows? And see, this node can activate all the way down here. So you have to watch for it. And you're going to be running through the workshop to finish it. Unless you just want to AFK this wall here to save some time, but I like the extra experience. Like I said, it's not the best experience. It's not the worst either. I'm at construction 73, and like I was like right at the bottom of before I started this, but like building all these walls and making the planks, and then building all this, it's gotten me to here. So at lower levels, this will definitely give you a tick up on your level. When Steamforged Games finally does release the RuneScape tabletop RPG, I wonder if it's going to include like Fort Fortin 3 and like rules that are similar to Kingmaker. I think it'd be really cool. I think it'd be really cool. So that is a lot smaller than that appears to be. So that does kind of ruin one thing that I had envisioned, which was a port being built here for Fort Fortin 3, but especially with how obviously shallow that is. Like the world map makes everything look like it's so far away and so like big, but then when you go into the actual map, well, there's the path to Daemonheim, which looks like it's a long way away. See, and like when they released Dungeoneering, what I would have done, because like right now the RuneScape map is very, very cluttered, like throwing this on there, I would have had Daemonheim be dredged up by the volcano, and it's actually over here, but then you wouldn't have been able to take the safe port from Lumbridge to Daemonheim. You would have actually had to go into the wilderness, and they would have needed to make a teleport for that. But that's just my idea, because there is no lodestone for Daemonheim. So having, like the wilderness lodestone also have been the access to Daemonheim would have been, in my opinion, but that is not what Jagex chose to do. So like right off the hop, before we go to the next wall, you can see here, you can train construction, archaeology, invention, and smithing here. Like just in this building here. So this is going to be a really, really cool spot to train. especially since there is the dig site just to the south of here. And like these are like really, really hefty walls. Like it would take a dragon to breach these walls. Which, it's a good thing it would take a dragon. There's a lot of dragons in this. The architecture of this building kind of reminds me of the elven buildings in like World of Warcraft. Like just like the way like these are tree logs rather than like carved wood. The roof is kind of human starting area similar, but yeah, no, like they did a really nice job designing these, and I really wish that RuneScape as a whole would get a full graphics update, but instead they do it like little by little. Whereas like Karamja hasn't had a graphics update in ages. Sears Village hasn't had a graphics update in ages. Mood, my guy. I did the exact same thing. So this is where you're going to be building your church. The altar's going to be here. These are going to be pews, the walls, and you're going to be able to do prayer training over here. I feel like just because you can't like even cut through the church like properly to just go straight across, that this wall is probably the best one to AFK. All right, so we're on the last wall now. And so far, we are an hour and 16 minutes into this quest. So, yes, it is still a long quest, even if you do your prep beforehand. Doing your wood cutting and limestone mining during the quest, you're probably looking at about 3 hours to complete this quest, making it one of RuneScape's longest quests. But thankfully, you can do all your prep ahead of time and at your leisure before starting this quest. This is going to look really nice when it's done. Hello, Gus. Come here, bud. You want to come say hi to the camera? Say hi, Gus. Say hi, Gus. Alright. Hey, bud. Hey. Are you coming to watch me finish the fort? You gotta watch me finish the fort. Mwah. Alright. I'm gonna pay for that later. As a lawn care, I'm allergic to him. Is it? I wasn't so bad with. His brother Leo wasn't so bad with, but him, yeah, no, He's full of fur and dander, and I am going to be paying for that. And there we go. The walls are done. Fort Firenthry has been fortified. Can you climb the ladder? No. Okay. So now let's talk to Bill. All right. So I like this. They have Duke for male, Duchess for female, and Ducks for neutral. So. All right, and that is done. So you get 1 quest point, access to Fort Firenthry and its facilities, and 2 treasure hunter keys. So that is the Fort Firenthry quest. Like I said, this would be a really good start to introducing Kingmaker to your RuneScape tabletop RPG if you wanted to. Or also a good way to bring it into D&D 5e if you do not want to play the Kingmaker timeline. Just out here is the lodestone for Fort Firenthry. I'm surprised that you weren't instructed to build that during the quest. It does require 10 limestone bricks. You cannot dismantle these for limestone bricks. Let's go over here and check the plans on Fort Firenthry. So you can go around and do the buildings. There is all the different tiers that you can do. You do need to be level 99 to be able to build Fort Firenthry into its entirety. And then miscellaneous is the lodestone. One thing I'm surprised that you don't have to build is the well, but, I'll take it. Anyway, so that is the Fort Firenthry quest. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Thank you for watching through all this time. The final quest time was 1 hour and 23 minutes. I will be editing this to make it as brief as possible, but it is still going to be a very lengthy video. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. If you feel I deserved it, please leave a like and consider subscribing. And in the meantime, cheers, and may the rolls be with you.